What a wonderful sight as I welcome Billy Slater in commentary as well. It's hard not to be excited by this. Latrell gets us underway. Let's rumble the Roosters and the Rabbits here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Home up square, front foot Damien, hold, Marcus, hold, go one.
Collins tackled for the first time, and now Tupou.
Move to leader. Go two.
Both teams with one win from their opening couple of games.
Now,
the Roosters
hold him, Michael.
Beaten by the Dolphins week one. They bounced back here against the Warriors last week, and of course South Sydney impressive against Cronulla in week one, and came close to scaring the Panthers last week. They,
oh no!
Oh no!
Hold here.
This is Hame Sele.
Oh,
last
tackle.
Tackle 5 with Victor
has
Radley.
only just come back.
Yeah, just gets his head in the wrong spot.
Last tackle.
And everyone's fresh at the start of the game. It was a vicious charge by the Roosters, and I think it's a hit.
All right, Hame Sele is not in a great way here. The medical staff going out to attend to him. God, how ugly was that?
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, thank you, mate. I looked at Paulo in the first minute of round one. Just out of this, just that one setting. Paulo was okay, thank you. So that's two, yes. Thank you. Stand by, Ronnie. 15 seconds. Stand by, mate. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, that is a very welcome sight. Hame Sele is able to walk from the field. His night will be done, though. And after losing Junior Totola in the first minute of the first game this year, another head knock has robbed South Sydney of one of their big men up front in the first minute of the game.
Yeah, Jason Demetrio has gone with 3 big men on the bench. You got Dave Mwali, Thomas Burgess, who's just taken the field, and also Shaq Mitchell. But what it does is it puts stress on your interchanges. You know, 8 down to 7, only 40 seconds into the game.
Here's Tass for South Sydney now. Tom Burgess has gone out there. We're expecting fireworks, and we'll probably get them at some stage, but Maria Hargreaves and Brandon Smith are coming off the bench for the Roosters tonight, and I'm wondering if that is a tactic from Trent Robinson to try to just keep a lid on things early. Oh, the ball hit the ground, and Kaloamatangi had to clean it up.
Nat, hold, go, last.
For Lachlan Ilias with a wobbly kick, which bounces kindly for Daniel Tupou, but there's a wall of South Sydney jumpers, and he is picked up. They wanted to dump him, but they brought him to ground safely. Well, Brad, another wonderful atmosphere here.
Absolutely, very loud, very loud. Even louder now, Joey Manu's got the ball. The Roosters fans are all up on their feet. The conditions are quite warm, fellas. There's a breeze coming across, but because of the design, feels like it's going straight over the top of us. And you can see the smoke up in the corners of the stadium is still lingering around from the fireworks. It's 24 degrees. Fatigue will play a big part in this game.
Short side play now. There's Rooster jumpers here. It's Swali'i. Strong tackle by Campbell Graham. What a battle. Swali'i versus Campbell Graham. There's some great individual matchups here. Walker now. A kick towards Isaac Thompson's side of the ground. Johnston, sorry, my apologies. And he is felled in a good tackle after catching that. Strong defence from Jackson Paulo, the former Rabbitoh. And Tass now
Yeah, watch the opening 2 rounds of the Roosters. Been off the pace. Only 3 minutes into the intensity. You can see they've gone up a gear tonight.
Go 3.
Here's Kaloamatangi.
Offload still.
Late offload. Cook to Murray.
Jake, clear it. Here we are. Hold with us here, Sam.
Held by Victor Radley. Ball goes from Walker. There's a fumble. Good contact there. Collins and Radley, they give each other a high five for that one. And Tom Burgess has the ball jolted from his grasp.
Go 0.
Played here by Manu. There's the Rooster chant. Here's Fletcher Baker.
2 metre, clear it. Hold with us, Damien. Hold Campbell.
37 metres short of the South Sydney line now. Jake Turpin's the starting dummy half tonight. And Egan Butcher ran into a strong front-on tackle. Kaloamatangi there. And Cook and Totola too. Radley for Sam Walker.
Cody up now.
But the Walker senior, Cody, wraps him up.
Go 3. Outside through.
Radley and Keary and Egan Butcher.
Campbell, hands off now. Hold here, Tom. Go 4.
They go inside. South Sydney's 20 now. Keary pushes it on. And Walker for Tedesco. The Roosters captain nearly through.
Last tackle, release.
Desperate last-ditch defence there by Tass. That is how... they've got a tackle count restart.
Tackle 1. Let up.
Last tackle. And
Red hot.
Jared Sutton waving the arms and the ball
It was 6 more,
has
mate.
been lost.
Joey Manu, he didn't hear the 6 again. He thought it was the last tackle. He ran from dummy half and then thought he had to hand the ball over. This is James Tedesco. He nearly gets there himself and then fights in the tackle, earns his team a 6 again. But Joey Manu was at the headgear.
There was a tackle on Tom Burgess, which was the error, and it's Victor Radley.
Hold there, Joseph.
Victor charges from Marco, hit him that hard. Watch, he hits him and pirouettes.
Wait for the call.
Of course he turns.
Shot clock off. Hold,
Fletcher Baker
Joseph.
smashes him in the back, but
Hold there.
that's what Victor Radley brings, the aggression.
That's a big shot.
Marcus, Go 1.
They leave nothing behind in defence or with anything really when they come together, these two clubs. Penalty South Sydney. Danica, breaking news.
Yes, unfortunate news for the Rabbitohs, but Hame Sele has been classified as a Category 1 head injury, so that means his night is over. In some positive signs, he was able to have a brief chat to some of his teammates as he did come from the field, but also just a reminder with the new rules introduced this week, if a player is diagnosed with concussion, that means they do miss the next 11 days, so it is likely now that Hame Sele will miss next week as well.
Thanks, Danica. There's Tom Burgess playing it. And a milestone for him tonight. He goes past Bob McCarthy into 4th on the list of most games played for the South Sydney club. What an amazing achievement. As Walker sends it away to Michael Cheekham.
Sam, Joey, all the way.
Sam Walker and Joey Manu stop him. What a great start to the game. Murray and Ilias and Kaloamatangi. There's the matchup. He spotted Keary and he got through him.
1 foot, Marcus square.
But help came in the shape of Turpin and Tedesco. Cook with a long ball. It goes to Ilias. Walker puts it on the boot. Johnston chasing. Jackson Paulo nowhere to go.
Goal line.
Yeah, nice little touch off Cody Walker's left foot. Usually your halves or your fullbacks are the indicator, but in these two teams, they're both number 13s.
Joseph, on report.
Cam Murray and Victor Radley in attack zones.
On your run.
They dictate play.
Yep.
You just watch Cam Murray
On the
this
shot
set.
clock.
Most of the attack will come from the 13 in the green and red.
Someone's on report. Joseph. There's a couple
There's
out
a few
there.
Josephs out there.
Joseph Swaliti, I'm
Manu.
told. That didn't quite come off that short restart, and Thompson's got the ball now.
Hold. Go 1. Jake, get up and
Here's
square.
Totola.
Lindsay, hold.
South setting up inside the Roosters 10. Kaloamatangi's over! And Keary's the man that missed him.
Beautiful play. We spoke about Ilias in the pre-game, standing up and demanding the ball. But that man on screen, Kaloamatangi, Watch the way he changes his angle. Harvey Norman replay. When the pass comes, moves to the outside on the pass, one-on-one with Keary. We spoke about that just before kickoff. 1-0, Koloamatangi. This showed beautifully. Look at the change of line. That's really difficult to do.
Yeah, using their big names as decoys as well. You see Latrell Mitchell out the back. Joseph Suoli'i wanted to cover Latrell Mitchell. On the other side of the field, you had Cam Murray and Cody Walker. So they're set up everywhere, and they go to the young halfback, Lachlan Ilias. He comes up with a beautiful pass to Koloamatangi. They're dangerous all across the field, the Rabbitohs. Just see here, you've got Cam Murray and Cody Walker on the left, but they go to the young halfback who goes to his back row. Latrell Mitchell out the back, just attracts defenders. He's a big man.
Yep. 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 Yeah, set that one. Just gotta wait for that clock, James. 5 seconds. Just time your run here, boys. Kick.
You can expect some more traffic tonight, Luke Keary. He's missed the bigger back rower, Koloamatangi, on a couple of occasions, and that one has cost them a try. Down to Brad.
Yeah, well, the South Sydney team, they scored that identical try against Cronulla where Keon took on Matt Moylan in exactly the same fashion. There should have been Joseph Suoli'i should have taken notice of that, and he's got to protect his 5'8" without coming in too hard. It's a really fine line when you've got a smaller player on your inside, so he needs a bit of be protected tonight, Joseph.
Here's Latrell playing it a couple out from the halfway. He's a Roosters champion, Latrell. Feels like a long time ago he played 96 games for them, won 2 premierships.
Go, last, nothing late.
Walker with the high kick.
Just watch the ground. Cameron, backwards, Joseph.
It's been knocked back by the Roosters. Oh, big tackle.
Stand now. Marcus.
If the Rabbitohs are on their game, Lockie Ilias and Latrell Mitchell will get together and they'll discuss that try. And next time, they'll go out the back to Latrell Mitchell and see if they can go 2 from 2 down that right edge.
Let up now, Campbell. Stay with us, Marcus. Go 1. Campbell.
Here's the young gun, Joseph Suoli'i, 27th
10
game,
metres, Damien.
17
Play the balls
NRL
inside
tries,
for
and
you.
he draws a penalty for his team.
The way he accelerates into contact and squeezes in between defenders, just the power of this young man. Just accelerates into space. Look at him accelerate, drives through. What a player.
Lindsay Collins, one of 2 Kangaroos representatives during the World Cup from the Roosters, that they provided 8 players to the World Cup, only 2 for Australia. Luke Keary was one of them. He played for Ireland and at St Patrick's Day as well. In multicultural round, there's a good run and a good tackle. The Roosters with a bit of momentum here. Sam Walker with his Harbour Bridge ball for Tupou. He gets it back in one hand. It's picked up by Egan Butcher.
Cameron, get up. Marcus, hold.
Murray the defender, they're 7 metres out. Turpin to Luke Keary, dummies, runs, no one there to pass to. Last play. Sam Walker, James Tedesco, Joey Manu, busting tackles. He reaches out, and his winger Jackson Paulo thinks he scored. Latrell, meanwhile, picked it up and raced upfield. And he's tackled by Victor Radley. So we're going to engage the bunker to see whether the ball
Have
was
no
forced.
try. Just confirm that Joseph Manu loses the ball and whether it's short of the line or in goal. If it's short of the line, we've got 0 tackle here with Latrell.
Oh, Billy,
Well, in the past, this would have been a knock-on, but with the slight rule change in a try-scoring situation, if it doesn't leave the arm or hand...
Just looking to determine if Joey Manu has lost possession and whether it's short or over the line.
What do you think, Joey?
It rolls away from his hand. I don't think
there's no downward pressure there.
Joey Manu has lost possession over the goal line. We have a decision.
Well, Latrell could have run the length.
Yeah, mate, and he stops. I call him and he pulls out of it. We're over here, boys, on the 20.
Big tackle in the end. Was it Victor?
Yeah, prior to that, mate, he comes back. On the 20.
Where's your T-shirt? Where's your Victor the Inflictor T-shirt?
Not allowed to wear it. And I've got to wear shoes too. Not happy.
He's hard to stop.
Front foot here.
This close to the line, Joey Manu.
He must be strong.
Isaiah Tass over the top.
Let up now, Jake. Marcus, hold. Go, 0.
It's an intense struggle.
Let up now. Back up here, Joseph.
We
Marcus
knew
square.
it would be just that. And the Roosters have turned up to play here.
Jake, clear it.
They've been
Here we are,
well
Victor.
below par in the first 2 weeks, but you sense the side of a South Sydney jumper on the other side of halfway is enough to draw the best out of them.
Go, 3.
Murray playing it. Cook gives it away to Tom Burgess now.
Lindsay, clear it now.
Signed a new contract during the week, an extra year, so next season with the club. He's only 30, Tom, so there's a bit of football left in him yet.
Last tackle, up square.
And to the centre of the 20-metre line. Totola playing it, down to Cody Walker. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell's ball is something special to Alex Johnston. Oh, how do you stop that?
Well, it was 3-on-3. 3 Rabbitohs jerseys up against 3 Roosters jerseys, but it was the brilliance of the pass and the footy smarts of this winger, Alex Johnston, to lead into the space that gained the advantage. He got there easy in the end. Harvey Norman replay. Just watch this bullet-like pass and how flat it is from Latrell Mitchell. Just accelerates, 3-on-3. And the brilliance of the pass and the footy IQ of this try-scoring machine, Alex Johnston. That's 168 tries in the NRL. What a player.
And it is 12 in his last 6 games and 13 minutes against the Roosters.
In these big games, you've got to take your chances. Down the other end, Joseph Manu drops the ball. It's 3-on-3 here. You've got to say this is bad defence from Jackson Paulo. I think it was the threat of Latrell. He actually turns his shoulders in so he can't see where Alex Johnston is. Poor edge defence there from the Roosters.
Now, Latrell's kicked his last 15 in a row here at Allianz. Sorry, Latrell.
Off the throat here.
10 seconds.
5 seconds, mate. Stay behind, guys. Still
Well,
getting
they've
it,
flown
G-Man.
out here, South Sydney.
Yeah, G-Man, we're on field.
The Roosters need to find a response.
Lindsay up square. Hold him that. Go 1.
Totola now.
Work out now, Joseph. Here it is, Egan. Hold now, Egan. Go.
Gee, there's some power on that Roosters bench, isn't there? Maria Hargreaves and Brandon Smith waiting to come into the
Lock him
game.
Square. Hold now. Go 3. Lindsay.
Well, how long do you wait?
Here's Kalamatangi winding up, and Keary got him.
Oh, that was... we might talk about that tackle in the next break.
Hold. Go 4 beyond.
Here's Cook now. Made 60 tackles last week against the Panthers, Damien
Wait,
Cook.
Lindsay, hold. Go last, nothing late. Outside. Tom, Lachlan.
Tedesco,
110.
2 try assists in 2 games this year, but hasn't scored a try so far in 2023. Here's the tackle, bottom.
Go 1.
You see,
Right.
we'll talk about that more in a break of play. Keary drops his head. I'm going to talk about he loses sight of the contact. Wearing the headgear, he's got a history of head knocks. Freddie.
Yeah, the Roosters just getting the ball out of their own end is going to be quite tricky. South Sydney just have a knack of getting out of trouble quite easily. They just run hard, support each other and wait for a kick.
Into the
and that's what they do. They force an error.
Well, look at that Luke Keary tackle on Kaloa Matangi. One, he gets his feet in the wrong position, but watch his head. He drops his head and looks at the ground. And he gets himself in a position. He's got a history of head knocks. He's wearing the headgear this year. He could have easily hit the hip there of Kaloa Matangi.
That's a great tackle by Campbell Graham.
He's a great defensive centre, Campbell Graham.
Latrell tries to get around Sam Walker. He beat him, he couldn't beat Turpin, and then Radley comes over to help.
Hold now, Fletcher. Stay with us. Go one.
Now, Michael Cheekham.
Nat, give room. Front foot here now.
Put down on the 30. Nat Butch, the defender. Cook drags in the markers, goes to Tom Burgess.
Held, release. Hold.
Turpin, the defender. They head right to Murray, who feeds a nice pass to Tola, but Turpin was super there with a bootlaces tackle. Now Cook, now Kaloa Matangi, straight at Keary again.
Last tackle, give room. Markers, hold.
They're a metre out.
Hold. Go, last.
Murray first receiver. Cody Walker with a kick through. Cheekham chasing after it. Tedesco has nowhere to go.
He had a little bit of time there, James Tedesco. There was no communication from his teammates just to give it a chance to go over the dead ball line. Michael Cheekham was still 6 or 7 metres away, and 2 passes from Murray to Walker. I may be braver than James.
So the first short dropout was a bit of a miss kick, I reckon, by Walker. Let's see what he can do this time. That's higher, and it's giving Tupou a chance. He's tapped it back. They've won the ball. That's how you do it.
Well, he knew what he was doing, James Tedesco.
Now Fletcher Baker.
Cameron up square, front foot, Junior. Hold.
Keep an eye on the Roosters bench. When does JWH spring to his feet?
Michael, give room. Hold. Go 3.
He's playing his 24th local derby tonight, Jared Wairia Hargreaves.
Marcus, Cody, keep coming, mate. Go 4, beyond. Outside, tackle 4.
Walker with a 4th tackle kick, floats up in the air, and it allows Johnston to scoot along the turf and take it well. But the chase was good. Radley took his legs away. Here's Tash this time.
Give room now. Marcus, hold with us. Go 2. Jake, release.
The hulking frame of Isaac Thompson with a super fast play of the ball. Cook scurries.
Move now, Luke. Marcus, hold.
Keary nabbed him.
Joey.
Ilias for Murray. Spins his way through the line. Murray, he's got Burgess there. He went away from him, and Tedesco with the tackle.
Joseph Manu, great effort to get back in cover.
Oh, he's lost it. Well, they've saved a try. You thought Souths were in for sure.
Yeah, that was incredible by James Tedesco. If we get a chance, not right now, but if we get a chance a bit later, we'll have a look at James Tedesco's body position to take care of 2 Rabbitohs attacking him on that line break.
Now, Joey Manu. He's on a run of 8 consecutive wins. That's under threat tonight with Souths ahead 10 points to 0.
Hold. Go 3.
Keary finds Baker, but Cook's waiting for him. So is Cam Murray, who sliced through there before. That was a bit easy. Oh, gee, that was ambitious by Luke Keary. Now, what's his argument here?
He's appealing.
Everybody up.
And someone was taking off the ball, maybe, and just tried to squeeze a little bit more out of the lemon that was available. nice show and go, and then gets his body in a real awkward position. But James Tedesco before, he made a try-saving tackle. I think it was Murray and Burgess coming at him. Here it is. Oh, no.
I understand what you're saying, but you can't on that instance because of the forward pass.
If we get a chance, we'll have a look at it from end on. Well, this is the line break from Cam Murray. Now, this is what the fullback's got to deal with. Joey Manu gives him a bit of a hand, but he just fakes to the right, and Murray takes the ball, and a beautiful fullback tackle.
Joseph, give room. Marcus square. Hold. Hold. Go one. Yardage. Let up now. Lock in square. Hold Jake. Go two. Beyond.
Totola.
Lindsay, release it. Hold.
Turpin's been busy in defence. Collins helping him there. Ilias now to Walker, and now Kaloamatangi. Interesting that before tonight, 4 of the 6 tries that South scored in the opening 2 rounds of the comp have come down the right-hand side, which is a breakaway from what we're used to seeing from them, that lethal left-hand side attack. They're trying to go with an all-round-the-park attacking method, and Johnston was allowed to catch that, and they nabbed him in defence.
Middle.
They're hanging on, the Roosters. They're hanging on.
Play the ball, boys.
A lot of go forward in the middle of the field for the Bunnies. As well here, Alex Johnston.
Hold, front foot. Hold.
I think Jared needs to come on. They need some go forward in the middle of the field. Really struggling to get forward, the Chooks.
There's Swali. And here's Jackson Paulo. Tackled by Michael Cheekham. Or Radley. Cook drags him to ground. And Tedesco for Baker. Hit hard, but he's able to promote the ball now, and Walker with a pass straight out to Joey Manu, who tries to get around Isaiah Tassin, did momentarily, but Walker comes to wrap him up in the tackle. Butcher for Sam Walker, and Latrell's got to make a bit of ground here. He did well, he had his back turned to the oncoming onslaught, and he took it well.
He just backs himself, Sam Walker. Whatever he sees, he pulls the trigger. Early in the game was that pass over the top. That time the offload, he just fired it to Joseph Manu.
Oh, Keary misses Graham this time, and he can race upfield.
Move, Daniel. Hold now. Hold. Go 3.
Kaloamatangi popped it out the back now to Cook. Knock this on, yep.
That was Ilias. Ilias fumbles, and it's a Roosters player who's made the tackle. His foot is it down low. I think it's Keary, and he flicks it out the back, juggles it. Mark that down, because up until now, the last 15 minutes, there's been no field position for the Roosters. That error, give him a bit of quality ball here.
So here come the big names on the bench, Rhea Hargreaves and Brandon Smith. They've got a task ahead of them. The team 10-0 down as Butcher collides with the defence of Totola and Murray. There's Brandon Smith. Ball goes to Walker. Oh! Collins is collared by Kaloamatangi.
Go 3.
Rhea Hargreaves. Such a popular figure amongst the Roosters faithful. Smith spins it away now. Sam Walker, Joey Manu, the in and away again. Tass sticks to him like cling wrap. Sam Walker, Pops it up in the air. It's too deep, is it? Tupou goes up. They all go
I've
up.
got goal line.
Knocked over the
They're
back
in
by
goal,
South
so he's
Sydney.
not
Yeah, just a
offside.
little bit too deep, that kick. You give Daniel Tupou a one-on-one. Here's the contact from Kalaumatangi on Collins. I just want to give Tupou an even share of leap here. It was just a little bit too deep in the in goal. But just keep an eye on that play. That cross-field kick to Tupou. Suoliti's out there as well.
It's a goal line, mate. Stay behind it.
So here comes
Stay
Latrell's
behind it.
answer
Go
to
early.
the Roosters' short dropout. There's the stats from the Westpac red zone. Oh, bounces over the 10. But South knock it on.
Oh, he's too good, Latrell.
It's gone 10. He knocks it on.
Are they going to challenge this?
Okay. Adam.
This came from Lachlan
South's
Ilias.
challenging the on-field ruling.
He doesn't think he's knocked
Ball's
this ball
travelled
on.
10, and then a knock-on by Lachlan Ilias.
What do they take him?
I've ruled Lachlan knocked it on. They're challenging that.
Well, Lachlan goes past the
Souths are
football.
onside at the dropout. At this point, no one has touched the ball. Ball has now travelled 10 metres. Just need to see if Lachlan Ilias knocks the ball on.
I think
or
he
not.
gets a hand first off, and the ball goes towards the Roosters try line.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, Joey.
Just have a look here. I think his right hand touches the ball here.
Oh.
Where's Snicko?
Well, remember the bunker has to overrule the referee here. They have to have significant evidence to overrule him.
Freddie.
I reckon he's knocked it on 3 times. Seriously, on the way down. When he's rolling around, then his left hand nudges it as well when he's on the ground.
Based on
Hits it there.
the available angles,
Hits it.
there is
There, and there's the
insufficient
left hand.
evidence to overturn the live decision.
They'll keep
and then
their...
Lachlan
Seriously.
Ilias pulls the ball in. South will retain their challenge, and the on-field
There's insufficient
decision will
evidence to
stand.
show one way or another. So the
Everyone
live
gets a
decision will
ribbon
stay,
in.
but you'll keep your challenge.
Freddie might have his Radley
Just
shirt
scrum,
on.
guys.
Yeah.
I think Nick's sitting beside him.
So Freddie thinks he's knocked it on 3 times, yet they keep their challenge.
Yeah,
So the
everyone
Roosters-
gets a ribbon.
The Roosters get the ball here.
Now this is a potentially big passage of play here. 10-0. South's well in command, but the Roosters haven't had a lot of ball down here. Can they run one past them and bridge the gap? Tedesco away for Paulo. Nice ball movement from the scrum. Manu sends it to Keary and through Radley to Uria Hargreaves. Straight at Mitchell, that's Shaq Mitchell. And Murray down around the legs. 12 metres out. Smith heads left, Radley and Keary allows it to bounce and he runs back and gets hammered by Shaq Mitchell almost where the ball was played. Here's the big dog.
Damien, get square. 1 foot, hold.
Murray there to stop him again. Now Smith plays left to Keary and the tap on from Suoliti was out ahead of Tupou.
Great rushing defence. You watch the outside defenders for the Rabbits. They see the threat. Centre and winger, they go all in together. Watch them fly in, put pressure. Really good hustle there from the outside defenders. Freddie.
Well, there's been very little deception around the play of the ball. Brandon Smith there, just with that cheeky little dink out to the right-hand side, was nearly enough just to stretch their outside defence of the Bunnies. You needed to be able to hold the middle of the defence to expose any sort of edge.
Now here's Davey Mawale. who turns 20 next week.
Really?
What a future he's got. Now Shaq Mitchell.
It's been good, Shaq. Some really good contact.
Didn't you
effective
interview
tackles.
Shaq?
Yeah, not that Shaq.
You give a size advantage away on Shaquille O'Neal, Billy, let me tell you.
Well, Victor's down in back play. Victor Radley holding his head.
Not another head knock.
I think it's... Oh, no.
Oh, it's swirling around, and Paulo did well to catch that. Now, Radley is just getting to his feet here. I think there's some blood spewing out.
Some blood.
Damien up and square. Shaq, hold here, Cameron. Hold, go to.
Collins. That's a good charge.
Help!
Strong run.
3.
Now play stopped.
Got a HIA. Victor, been requested to go for a HIA. Tackle 3 with Lindsay.
Oh. That's not the head you want to collide with. Doink.
Oh. And what happens here with Jarrett?
His head's made of
Hold,
concrete.
boys. Tackle 3. Hold. Push up there. Go 3.
He didn't even feel it.
Shaq up square. Lachlan, hold with us. Go 4.
Here's Drew Hutchison now. You see, playing in the forwards. He's big enough.
Hell, last tackle, release it. Shaq, hold. Hold, Damien. Go, last. Nothing late. Outside. Give 10 here. Not 10, just hang on to him.
Latrell looks up and sees Roosters jumpers, but he's still able to slip pass away.
Joey up now. Here we are.
Immense strength.
Go 1. Lindsay, go 10.
Now Tass.
Give room, Nat. Hold, Lindsay.
So Rabbitohs 10, Roosters yet to trouble the scorers as we approach half an hour. Here in Friday night football, we're at Allianz Stadium. What a sight this place is.
Jared up, give room.
One of the great modern stadiums.
Go 4, Jared, not square. Jared.
As Cook tries to get the better of some bigger men, but he can't weave a path past them.
Hold, go last. Outside.
And Walker has ample time to kick it wherever he wants. He's going to kick it to the in goal, and Jackson Paulo! Oh, he was trying to blow it over the dead ball line.
Okay,
This got super tight.
No try. Just looking at grounding in relation to dead ball line, mate.
Alex Johnston, he can score a try and he can sniff out when there's an opportunity. You just see him
Left
here.
side kick chase has been cleared from South. Playing on at this point.
Just lunges around. Oh, he misses everything.
Oh, and Paulo's touched it.
Well, there was a chance. He just collects the knee of Jackson Paulo.
Alex Johnson initially misses the ball. And the ball is then made dead by Jackson Paulo.
Billy,
we have a decision.
That kick looked too easy to find open space there.
Well, whenever you find the ground, as a member of the back three, you have to ask yourself whether you're in position or you could have got there a little bit earlier.
Oh, Swaliti took off early. And there's a knock on against South Sydney, and Cam Murray says we are challenging straight away.
Okay. Adam, Souths are challenging the ruling of a knock on against Campbell Graham.
Roosters are onside from the dropout. At this point, the ball has travelled 10. Joseph Suwali has jumped over the South player. We're just looking to determine if Campbell Graham knocks this ball forward.
He's facing his own try line, but I think the ball...
Campbell Graham's left hand is behind the ball and he's pulling it towards the opponent's dead ball line, constituting a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful. Roosters scrum. Where do you want it, mate?
Challenge is blown this time.
Suoli.
Yeah, scrum.
He went off real early. A lot of talk, Billy, about Suoli playing fullback. How do you think he'd go?
Oh, he'd go good. I've been very impressed with wherever he plays. Plays on the wing, in the centres. He's very aggressive with the footy, with his contact in defence. I haven't seen a whole heap of his ball playing ability. We saw him play fullback in the World Cup for Samoa. Oh, but he's an out-and-out athlete.
Goes Egan Butcher now. So South's in command here. You get the feeling at a couple of different occasions in this half, the Roosters have barely been clinging on. Terrell May, he's replaced Lindsay Collins, and he plays it within 6 of the halfway. And Maria Hargreaves now targets Cook and drags him along for the ride. And Mitchell comes in to finish the tackle off. Played by the veteran front rower. Back to Sam Walker. And Latrell takes it near his own line. And a 4-man tackle brings him to ground on his own 10. Walker for Tass now. And now the speed of Johnston. 18 tries in 22 and a bit games against the Roosters for this amazing left winger, Alex Johnston. Now Mitchell. Stopped by Hutchison. And again, Walker with plenty of time to kick. Straight to Jackson Paulo. And he's met by 3 South Sydney chasers. Tash there and Cheekham, the 2 most prominent. Here's Manu. They just look like they need a bit of a spark, the Roosters, Andrew.
There's just so much fatigue in this game. Not much petrol left in the tank for the big men for the Roosters.
Here's a chance now. Down the left-hand side, they scamper.
Oh, 6 to go.
6 more coming now. That might be the little stroke of fortune they needed. May palms away from 1 and 2, and he's eventually stopped here by Mawale and Cheekham. And who's that buried down the bottom? It's Shaq Mitchell, who's getting through a lot of work here. Now Maria Hargreaves. Oh, lands straight on top of Cam Murray. That's most ungenerous. Brandon Smith with room to run. He explodes through the hole. The South defenders were looking at one another, and Brandon Smith gets the Roosters on the board.
Yeah, it's his greatest strength, his running game. Brandon Smith, the block of cheese. And a quick play the ball, leaves a rabbit on the ground and just attacks tired forwards. Brandon Smith shows a little dummy and then accelerates. Harvey Norman replay. Just watch the leg speed of Brandon Smith here. Just the deception of a look and a show, and then the block of cheese. He's over for the Roosters.
Yeah, the ruck defence. That's what the coach was talking about before the game, Jason Demetrio. Unfortunately, Cam Murray got left on the ground. You said that, Matt. Big Jarrett landed right on top of him. One marker, and Davey Moala, he went left, which then isolated Kaloa Matangi and Brandon Smith. Ball in 2 hands, 1-on-1, and he gets away. First try for the club.
Well, we said they needed a spark. Elias bought that dummy, didn't he? And they opened up beautifully.
The damage was done at the ruck. Murray left on the ground. Davey Moala, he took the dummy. He went to the left. which then isolated the big men in the middle of the field.
Yeah, great plan. Trent Robinson brought his 2 impact players on at the right time. Jared, he played the ball. And Brandon, he was the try scorer.
Geez, they needed that, didn't they? Got a lot more ball, the Roosters. 59% of possession. Not much field position, but plenty of possession.
Oh, Walker has hit the post and it's bounced off.
It's got 10 seconds, mate. It's waiting. Time your run.
Brandon Smith's first try in the tricolours is a very important one, bridging the gap back to a converted try, and Terrell Mays brought some energy off the bench.
Back up now. Back up, mate. Tackle 1. I understand, but it's tackle 1. Go with that.
Now Daniel Tupou, who is 6 tries short of breaking Anthony Minicello's club record for tries. Mini scored 139 in his remarkable career with the Roosters. So Daniel Tupou has that accolade in his sights in 2023. Tedesco hasn't seen a lot of football so far in the game, but he plays it here on the halfway. Now Smith. And they've made good yardage here. Hutchison for Walker. Manu's trying to put a challenge on this. He got up, the ball bounces towards South Sydney's in goal, and it's kept in field, and South Sydney have tossed this over the touchline.
Wow. They can jag one here, the Roosters. Go into half-time with a lot of momentum. Great effort from Manu to get down there and compete for the ball. Paulo throws the ball in.
Play the ball, boys. The ball went in a touch.
Well, the bounce of the ball, quite literally, has favoured the Roosters here. What an opportunity with half-time. 3 minutes 20 away.
Hold here. Don't go early here. Hold now. Don't go early. Hold. Go.
So Hutchison resumes the battle, and Rhea Hargreaves with the first run. They pitch their 10 inside South's 10-metre zone. May, he's going to try to power his way there.
Stay square. Go 2.
Brandon Smith to Luke Keary, to Sam Walker, to James Tedesco, to Jackson Paulo. They hold him up.
What about the tackle? What about the
tackle
technique?
3. Time off.
Who makes this
tackle?
tackle?
3. Out 10.
Oh,
Is it Isaiah Tass?
I think it's Cody Walker, is it?
Watch the way he gets up and
That's
grabs. It's Tass. Watch how close he gets and then grabs at the arms. Smothers him. What a tackle.
Let up now, Davey. Marcus. Hold Damien. Go 4.
Hutchison, Keary with a kick. Tupou's there. They've got their second. Precision work by Luke Keary, and Tupou was unmarked.
Wow, big couple of minutes before half-time. The Roosters, they're back in the game, and it's Daniel Tupou. Last time they went down that edge, Harvey Norman replay, the Rabbitohs jam. Well, Luke Keary said, if you're going to jam, I'll just dink it over to the top. And Tupou was on board. He knew the play. Beautiful touch off Luke Keary. Catch, kick in the one motion. And Daniel Tupou, he didn't break stride.
It's a great kick in the end because he actually juggles the ball. Watch when Keary gets the ball. He doesn't catch it clean. We can see the high shot. It shows it beautifully. He catches and juggles the ball for a fraction of a second. Sometimes when that happens, a player can balk and not kick the ball. He backed himself, inch perfect the kick.
You can see it. You can see it was a premeditated play.
Yes, Keary just juggles that ball.
This is a bit like last night. Manly all over Para, and yet Para jag a couple of tries, and we're almost tied up. We can be tied up here. That is a good strike by Sam Walker.
Scanning a bit. Going long. Time your run.
This game has flipped in an instant. From 10-0 to 10-all.
Is that Victor back on the field?
One-on-one.
Oh, it's a one-on-one steal. It's a one-on-one rip. So how long to go? 30 seconds. They get a couple of plays at them here. Mitchell. They point him into the defensive line, and he's tackled 30 metres out. Here's Moale. So they set up for one trick shot at them. They're getting organised out left here. Murray, the ball hit the deck. The Roosters raced up, and Cheekham has it. They don't care about the 6 more call. It's a penalty.
Sam Walker.
Latrell, he was
penalty.
back for the field goal, Latrell Mitchell.
Because it breaks down play.
You can see him talking to Damien
Cook. It effectively breaks down play because he stops them being able to play. It's a penalty. Sam Walker.
So Latrell is going to have a shot at penalty goal, as you'd expect with the siren. Has it sounded? Oh, it's a second away. This will be the last action in the first half, and Souths have a chance to lead it by a couple.
Hasn't he been enormous, Cam Murray? Ball playing, his defence, 20 tackles, leads the tackle count.
Well, if Trent Robinson was urging the Roosters fans not to boo Latrell, they must have been reading the press.
Yep.
And he's kicked it, so it's the Rabbits by a couple at half-time. 2 tries apiece. But after early domination by South Sydney, the Roosters have roared back with half-time approaching. It's 12-10. Souths with 2 wins against the Roosters, 1 in their matchups last year. We remember they launched this stadium in round 25. The Roosters won that. And then a week later, they met in week 1 of the finals, and Souths with the knockout punch to end the Roosters season. Always so much at stake when these mortal enemies do battle. Here's Davey Moale.
Up in square now. Hold here, Terrell.
Smith's been good off the bench for the Roosters. And now Cheekham.
Let up now. Victor, stay with us. Hold, go 3.
Terrell May and Egan Butcher, the defenders. Murray, Ilias, and Keon Kalamatangi against Keary and Graham now. Graham, he runs away from his support man, and he's put down.
He's done it again, James Tedesco. He saved another try.
Ilias and Moale. He's going to try and muscle this one. They get a full complement. Oh, they're going to be hard to hold out here right after half-time, South Sydney. Cook, Murray.
Luke, let up.
Can't spin over. Now Cook. And back to Shaq Mitchell.
Held. Release.
Sam Walker's asking for reinforcements on his right-hand side of the ground. They go the other way. They go to Ilias. It comes out now for Thompson. Thompson beat Tupou. The Roosters veteran drags him to ground, ball and all. That's 4 tackles down. Ball goes to Ilias, and then Cook, and then Murray, and then Walker, and then Latrell, who takes them on himself. Sam Walker got him around the legs. Mitchell has to go back and play it. Cook down the short side. Cody goes himself, and good defence by the Roosters.
Thought they were all offside then, the Roosters.
Yeah, first set of 6. Cody Walker's upset. Skinned him on their right side. Watch Suwali, Joseph Suwali. Watch him come flying in here. And Tupou was out on his wing.
Yeah, great skill. And just watch James Tedesco. We didn't get it on that clip, but again, just waited and put the attacker in 2 minds. Graham ended up running the ball and he made another try-saving tackle.
Waria Hargreaves. Old bull, young bull there. He was tackled by Moale. And that's a good run by Butcher. That's Smith, sorry, not Butcher. Keary with a kick, 40-20 attempt on tackle 3.
He's got it.
It's rolling, Mitchell, oh, how about that? He stopped on a thimble.
Release, here we are. Go one.
So close by Keary, but they add some pressure here to South Sydney with that long kick and chase.
Terrell up square, front foot here. Hold, Joe. Hold. Go 2.
3 minutes into the second half, and have a look at the players, how much fatigue already in that time.
Wait, Victor. Hold. Go 3.
This game's going to open right up late in this game.
Off the ball. Here it is, Sam. Hold now. Hold. Go 4. Don't go early here now.
Murray's beaten everything. One-handed catch by Cody Walker. Away to Michael Cheekham.
Last tackle beyond. Up.
Dragged down by Sam Walker in combination with Joey Manu.
Outside.
Cody kicks in behind them. It's a tantalising kick. Gives the chasers an opportunity to run down. That's superstar.
Yeah, it's a great kick.
Hold now.
Just put James Tedesco in that right corner. He's a right-hand carry.
Surrender. Hold.
Now we'll get his troops to just build a bit of pressure on the Roosters here.
Good run, that Butcher. A few people saying he might have been unlucky not to make the Kangaroo squad for the World Cup, Nat Butcher. He had a wonderful year last year. Oh, the Roosters fans wanted 6 again there, or a penalty as it would have been inside the 40. Maria Hargreaves, 9 short of halfway. Brandon Smith, back to Sam Walker. And Johnston continuing his try-scoring streak against the Roosters with a try already this evening. The second of the 2 South Sydney 4-pointers so far. There's Isaac Thompson, tackled on his own 30. Campbell Graham.
Let up now, Egan. Hold. Go 3.
Manu came sprinting out to put pressure on. The ball went to ground. It's a retrieve by Tass, but they've lost some momentum there.
Hold. Go 4.
We saw Swali'i come racing out on his left-hand side, and then Manu mirrored that, so perhaps a tactic from Trent Robinson. They forced a turnover here.
Go 1, beyond.
There goes JWH.
Cody, no more. Milking, Jared, you've got him. Hold, Damien. Go 2.
He plays it now, and Smith goes to Keary, and here's Terrell May.
Hold him now. Held. Release.
3-man tackle with Murray at the forefront. How many tackles has he made tonight?
Go 3.
Radley, nice ball. Keary now. Swali'i. He got up and goes again. He carries Ilias for a few metres, and he's dragged down 12 short.
Hold. Go 4. Lachlan.
A chance for the Roosters to hit the front, maybe. Out now to Luke Keary. They've got some numbers out here on the right-hand side. Butcher with a backhander. And Jackson Paulo is over. The Roosters have scored 3 on the bounce to hit the front.
Yeah, it was all off an error from South Sydney. And the Roosters capitalise. They just went through the hands here. Harvey Norman replay. Here's the error. Michael Cheekham just tries to offload out the back. Victor Radley pounced on the ball. They just went through the hands. Radley out the back to Keary. Not a whole lot on. 2-on-2. And beautiful little flick pass here. And the former Rabbitoh, Jackson Paulo.
Down to Brad Fittler.
Yeah, there wasn't much happening even as they were passing the ball until this man got the ball, Nat Butcher. Actually one of the fastest blokes in the Roosters squad. Incredible amount of acceleration. He just took off, which just changed the defensive pattern, put him in 2 minds. Prior to that, they were just bumbling along and they had him covered. That man, Nat Butcher, surprisingly very fast.
So a try for Jackson Paulo against his old club.
Here's some tied defenders here, just putting arms out. I'd like to have that one again, Cody Walker.
So the Roosters lead from 10-0 down to 14-12 ahead. What a crowd. What a stadium. We'll get a crowd number for you, but they're saying around the 30,000 mark. And Sam Walker taking all the time he has available to him here. Right against the sideline. Oh, what a super kick by Walker.
Time you're on. 5 seconds.
A stunning start to the second half. Chances for South Sydney, but the Roosters have jagged their 3rd of the night and they lead by 4.
Got to say, that was a soft try. There's no real stress on the defence line. They just looked really tired then.
Up in square, Cameron. Lock in, hold, go to.
You could say that about the Brandon Smith try as well, Andrew.
Michael, straight away. Lock in there, hold, go 3.
And now Butcher.
Cody, give room now. Hold with us.
He's a bit better than a toiler, this lad, Nat Butcher. And there's a future in his brother Egan as well. What a good player.
Well, he's been playing on an edge this year out wide in the back row. I like him. I like him in the middle, Egan Butcher.
That worked out okay for Sam Walker. It gave him a bit more time to kick. Manu tries to put a shot on Johnston, who's eventually tackled on his own 20-metre line. Oh, Tass runs into the teeth of the Roosters tacklers.
Hold, hold. Go 2.
And there's Thompson. They've targeted Keary wherever possible so far tonight. They wanted a penalty. They didn't get one. Here's Tom Burgess. Nice offload. Cook waiting for it. Oh, Egan Butcher. Good front on shot.
Lock in there. Hold. Hold. Go 4. Last tackle, Jared gets square.
Totola just goes over the halfway. Radley and Rhea Hargreaves combine. Oh, Ilias, a miss kick. It bounces back, and Campbell Graham gives the ball away to Mitchell. Fortunately, he's a left footer, so he's able to turn around and get some sort of a kick downfield. And Jackson Paulo, oh, he had a chance there if he slipped it to Manu. Gee, he must have been tempted. Manu was nearly in the clear. Here's Tedesco.
Michael up square. Hold. Go 2.
South Sydney just faltering a little here.
Yeah, the Roosters can smell blood in the water. They're going after the Rabbitohs at the moment, both defensively and now with the football.
I see Tedesco get on this left side with Keary and Suoliti. Get some plays down this side.
6 balls.
Oh, 6 again.
No tackles.
And Radley punches it up to get this new set started. They're only 25 metres out. 2 before half-time, 1 after the break. Butcher tackled magnificently by Lachlan Ilias. 15 out now. Here's Tedesco into first receiver. And Radley tackled hard by Cheekham.
Marcus, hold here. Go 3.
Smith for Luke Keary. And Manu, they saw him coming a fair way out there.
Give room.
How many's that? 4 tackles.
Go 4.
Rhea Hargreaves around the back to Radley and out to Sam Walker. There's his floating pass, and here's Tupou. No opening to the try line. Tackled by Thompson and Campbell Graham. Ball back to Sam Walker, who runs. Tedesco tries to punch into a hole. That was a bit like Tommy Turbo last night. He's over, but I don't know he can get it down. Not even Tedesco could do that.
Yeah, Latrell Mitchell was underneath that one.
Handover.
And James Tedesco, the captain, he sensed an opportunity. Just see here, Sam Walker last tackle, just runs into some space.
How good's that camera angle? There's Sam Walker. In an era where a lot of halfbacks don't like to throw long balls, they just like to play the short balls and the percentages. Love it, he just backs himself.
Round 3 of the NRL Telstra Premiership is multicultural round, which recognises and celebrates the diverse cultural backgrounds that make up the rugby league community. It is our differences that make us stronger together. A great celebration right across the weekend. Here's Cook for Kaloamatangi now.
Last tackle. Marcus square. Hold. Go.
Brandon Smith's come out of that worse for wear.
Tom. Cameron.
He's straight back up. There was no hobble, so I don't know whether he just copped a whack. Stray arm, perhaps. Tedesco is wrapped up.
Isaac Thompson hobbling back to the right wing for the Bunnies. Came out of that challenge with Suoliti.
Isaiah, give room. Hold. Go 2.
Sam Walker. The dummy half run himself.
Hold here. Hold. Go 3.
9 metres out from the halfway line. Victor Radley. Terrell May. Strong performance off the bench tonight.
He's a good player.
Hold. Go 4.
Here inside for Manu. Oh, he got shunted after he passed that. Luke Keary.
Hold. Go last. Nothing late, Tom. Outside. You 10 in the middle, Egan. 110.
Latrell takes it and runs for 10 metres before he's stopped. 12 out. Egan Butcher. Terrell May. Now Campbell Graham. We're in a bit of a holding pattern here after that Roosters try. A break for Cam Murray and one that is well earned.
The holding pattern's got a bit of pressure to it as well, and the Roosters, they're perfect with the football, 5 from 5. They're really asking the Rabbitohs how hard they're willing to work for this.
Sam, clear it. Joseph, hold. Go 4.
Oh, he's a beast.
Last tackle, Marcus square, Luke. Hold. Hold that. Go, like Jared. Outside. Clear, just watch the ground.
Walker with the clearance.
Junior.
He objected to Victor Radley's tackle.
Up square now, Tom. Junior, hold. Go one.
Let's go to Brad.
Yeah, well, I had the pleasure actually just watching Cam Murray walk past, and I've got to say, whenever you see Cam looking like that, it makes you question whether you try hard enough in your own life.
He's been enormous again. Cameron Murray.
Well, when is he ever not enormous?
Release now. Go forward, Lachlan. Down
the short side now, and there's a response. Good tackle.
Jed Cartwright.
His first involvement. And there's a missed kick from the Roosters. Oh, it nearly hit Victor Radley in the head. Latrell comes bounding at the ball.
Picked it up on the half ball.
Lock in markers. Hold.
Oh, penalty. Big call.
Hadn't that challenged this?
No, it was a hand in there.
Right, Teddy's coming to challenge.
Yeah.
Roosters challenging the ruling of ruck interference post completion of tackle.
First thought there was a real raking motion from Lindsay Collins.
Oh, I don't know about that. I
What are
think
you laughing at?
But he breaks the ball out. Watch his right hand.
Lindsay Collins' right arm is on Latrell's arm. He's simply removing his arm to get away from
that's
the
not a
tackle.
rake.
he's simply
The challenge
removing
is
his
successful.
arm, Joey. I actually agree with the referee's decision.
If that's not a rake, honestly, I'll walk home naked.
Well, if he's raked it with his forearm.
Yeah, but the forearms, you can rake it with your forearm.
Freddie,
mate.
what do you
this?
think, mate?
Well, I've got to back Lindsay Collins there, but
No, is our man getting his gear off for the walk up the road? That's the question.
I'll tell you what, it was a good call. It was a good call for the Roosters. It felt like there was a bit of a momentum shift there. There was a big tackle on the last tackle.
Freddie, what do you think? A rake or not?
No rake.
Put your pants
right.
back on.
Thanks, Captain Rooster.
Here goes Swali'i. Well, you can see Tedesco had identified how important that call was because they've won the field position battle.
Ah, yes, the Rugby League gods. Yep.
Everybody up. Shot clock on.
How that wasn't a rake.
He didn't have his hand on the footy. Anyway.
Rugby League karma.
Danica, some more news from you.
Yes, unfortunately for the Rabbitohs, it's not looking good for Shaq Mitchell. He went up the tunnel about 10 or so minutes ago and he's still up there. He's currently getting assessed on a leg concern. It's not looking likely that he will return, but they haven't officially ruled him out, so they're still holding some hope, but certainly far from ideal considering Hame Sele is also gone for the night.
Yes, indeed. So potentially down to 15 for the rest of this, and it has been quite the physical examination. Tola stopped in his tracks by Collins, who is back on the ground now for his second shift. Kalamatangi's lost it.
I've got to give a rap to the referee, Jerry Sutton. He's let this game really flow.
Everybody up. Shot
Been
clock
3
on.
penalties and only 4-6 to go. I think early in the year, and the 6 to go, he's given out quite easily. I think he's really reffed the game well. The game's really flowed.
And Nat Butcher's picked up an injury in that tackle. He can barely put any weight on his leg. He's just limping back into the scrum now.
Hold, Damien. Right.
Oh, there's determination from Swally. He's lost the ball. Another turnover.
He's come from behind him.
Well, he was driving the legs, but the defence, led by Campbell Graham,
Shot clock on.
they were competing against him, and the Souths defenders have won the day there.
Well, it's a big chance for the Rabbitohs here. The Roosters have wrestled the ascendancy their way in this second half. They get field position. You'd like to think Latrell Mitchell and Cody Walker will combine in this set at some stage. They're the two most dangerous players on the field.
Get there at the back, Damien. 5. Okay, shot clock off. Heads in, wait for the call, break.
Cook picks it up from the back of the scrum, away to Campbell Graham.
Let the legs.
The man that dropped the ball makes the first tackle. Here's Jed Cartwright now.
Clear it now, Victor. Front foot here. Hold.
Learning
Go two.
all about what it means to play in one of these
Brandon, up and
bitter
square.
derbies.
Here it is, Nat.
Jed Cartwright
Hold.
from the
Go
west of
3.
Sydney debuted as a Panther. He's been at South for a few seasons. Oh, that's the way you defend a mistake. And Keary's trying to race upfield. He won't have the pace. What about
Hold.
that tackle? He came steaming in. Joseph Swali'i.
That was a tackle.
Let up now, Junior. Cody, hold. Go 1.
Away to Tedesco. They've got an overlap out here. It goes to Manu. Manu against Walker. Manu through with his dazzling footwork. He's dropped the ball. It's a dead set drop-a-thon at the moment.
It was a really awkward tackle. Let's hope Joseph Manu gets to his feet,
Everybody
which he
up.
does.
Shot clock on.
Falls quite awkward here, Joseph.
Freddie, what about that tackle by Swali'i? He came steaming out.
Well, he's taken a couple out tonight. Isaac Thompson took about 4 tackles to get back in the line. He was in his haunches. And poor old Lachlan, oh no, I don't want to see it again.
Bang!
Yeah, I think if you're going to that side of the field, play a little bit earlier, and you're playing to your men going towards Suali'i.
Well, you said it might open up, Andrew. It looks like we're not far from that stage because Mitchell has run for 20 metres and he's up to the halfway now. Oh.
We look at the fatigue. The last 5 minutes, there's been 4 or 5 errors. 6 errors.
What have they put on the ball in the last little while?
Well, there'll be sweat. It's pretty humid down there on
Everybody
ground
up.
level.
Shot clock on.
And these players, there's a lot of sweat on the football, which is really slippery. You see the ball just pop out here.
Was that right?
You just want to get your budgie smugglers out. Danica.
Yes, this atmosphere is incredible down here at the moment. There is the official attendance of 36,639 fans in here at the moment. And I'm just sitting next to Cameron Murray, and I think that he might be back on the bench, back on the field very soon. He's just hopped off the bike, and he's having a word to the South Sydney officials.
All right, thanks, Danica. Super crowd. Why wouldn't you want to come here?
Clear it now, Tom. Lock in, square, Kean. Hold here, Jed. Go 2.
Lindsay Collins
Jed, straight away.
with an
Lock
aggressive
in, lock
run
in,
that the
Damien.
Roosters fans appreciated. Fletcher Baker's gone out on the ground as they head to the left-hand side with Egan Butcher
Ilias again.
Campbell up now.
and Campbell
On the
Graham.
line.
They're a formidable
Hold, go
defensive
for it.
combination, those two. Keary back for Collins.
Last tackle.
Matungi's on that side too. Don't forget him.
Hold. Hold. Go. Last.
Sam Walker. Well, Swali'i, he was trying to get a catch on the ball there, but that was nicely done by Thompson.
Well, he just got a slight check from
Let
Campbell
up now,
Graham,
Sam.
just enough
Hold.
to put him off balance.
Hold.
He didn't compete for the ball.
Go 1.
Here's Campbell Graham. These are tough runs. His Australian teammate, Lindsay Collins, smashes him. Ball's come out again.
I think we might have high contact here.
Oh, it might be a high tackle. Yeah, Graham's not well.
Yep.
We haven't had a sin bin yet,
Got
have
it.
we?
No.
We had 7 the last time they played.
Yes.
Well, Latrell Mitchell wasn't happy with something in this tackle.
Mate, I'll talk to you in a second. Yep.
Oh, it's the secondary tackle there from Baker that's hit him high, so it wasn't Lindsay
Talk to
Collins.
James. Yeah. Easy. Fletcher.
There's no intent.
Hey?
If he's jumping like that, what's he?
Understand, but there's still high
not with
contact.
malice,
Fletcher. Fletcher.
So he has to come in for clear.
He's going to go for 10, I think.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but there's still high
But
contact.
that can't be a free.
It's on report. High contact.
Oh, he's
that's
still
good.
there.
Keep it a contest.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, keep it a contest.
You got him good.
You got him.
They're big arms. He's a big lad.
Big boy, isn't he?
16-12, Roosters over Rabbitohs. Oh, we hoped this game would go right down to the end.
Hold. Go. No tackles. Still yardage.
Oh, Jed Cartwright, monster.
It's physical, isn't
Stand
it?
down. Lock in
What?
square.
Ripping into each other.
It's round 3. A game fitting of any finals clash.
On the mark.
6 out from the halfway. Totola playing it. Cook through Walker. Can Latrell crack this open? He feeds a pass to Johnston, who's down the wing. Back on the inside. Oh, that is an unbelievable bit of play.
Joey Manu.
Manu played at the ball in making a tackle, and Keary was there to mop it up. A try saver.
Well, Cody Walker here in frustration and back play hits Sam Walker after he passes the ball. How did they stop this?
Wow.
Desperation.
That's extraordinary from Manu.
Great play. And then Sam Walker gets the ball. Comes over to the western side. Cody Walker in frustration pushes him in the back after he passes the ball. What a big play, Joseph Manu.
That could be a game-saving play. Oh, Collins. But ball's been lost. Penalty.
That's a wreck. Well, there's been 2 tries scored from South Sydney, and there's been 3 try-saving tackles, 2 from their captain and fullback James Tedesco, and 1 from Joey Manu now.
The amount of times where you see an error and then a penalty, but now they've gone error, penalty, penalty, penalty. The amount of times you see tries scored on the back of that. They're going to go well to hold them out here, the Bunnies.
So South should have scored if not for Manu's a little bit of magic. And look at the difference it makes now. They're inside South Sydney's 20. Collins rips into the middle of South's defence. Totola holds it. They're 12 out. They head through the hands to the right-hand side. Keary now. Tedesco with a tapper. Jackson Paulo has scored the try.
I think there's an obstruction off the ball. I think you'll find this will be a no try.
He's awarded it, so we'll see whether the bunker chooses to get involved here. If not, it's 20-12 with a kick to come.
Harvey Newman replay. Keep your eye on Joseph Manu when he goes through the line. Cody Walker. Cody Walker plays the man.
Yeah.
This will be it. This is a 50-50 call. I think it should be a try. Just keep your eye on Cody Walker and Joseph Manu. Joseph Manu stops there. Cody actually plays to him. This is a big, big call. Joseph Manu goes through in the decoy, stops in the line. And Cody will
stop in the line?
Well, Cody. No doubt Cody plays the man. Similar to Mitchell Moses we saw last night at Brookie.
Without doubt. I think Cody had the opportunity to get around Joey Manu. Without
Try confirmed.
Yeah.
And no problem with that as long as they're consistent.
Oh, that's a huge blow.
What about the hands here by James Tedesco? Just a little tap on, catch pass, and Jackson Paulo.
I think we'll hear more of that incident in the post game. Freddie.
You got to remember Jackson Paulo. If you remember last year in round 23 against Penrith, made about 5 errors. It was a pretty one of those nights where just nothing went right. He had death threats all through his social media. He went through a torrid time. And speaking to Trent Robinson, just saying how his confidence was affected that much. It's so great to see a young fella like that break through, score a couple of tries on a wonderful occasion like tonight. Hopefully that slingshots him into another fantastic year.
So the booing you can hear there is the shot of Cody Walker, which came up on the big screen, shaking his head. Oh, they think he was muckraking there. He still can't believe it.
As long as they're consistent in the bunker. There's the people enjoying themselves behind Sam Walker, aren't they?
That's the second time they've been on camera, that lot.
They're well hydrated in the hot weather.
And he kicked a bullet from here at the last attempt. This one's swinging back, but it won't be enough.
No.
He was nearly past him, nearly grabbed him. Cody let that other try in. That was a soft man. That's a soft try.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be ready, Hendo. Come forward, Hendo. Just got to wait for the clock, Latrell. Just got to wait for the clock. Stay behind it. Come on, mate.
That's 4 tries in a row.
Put this dead.
Oh, he's kicked it into the SCG.
Well, the wheels have fallen off for the Rabbitohs. They haven't handled the pressure of the Roosters in this second half at all.
Luke, not in front of the line.
There's 12 and a half minutes to go. They're still within striking distance, but more points would nearly put that out of reach.
Hold. Go, no tackles.
Fletcher Baker.
Get up now, Kern. Hold square.
Cartwright and Kalamatangi drag him down. Collins, how good's he been since he's gone back out there?
Here's 10, Damien. Lock in square. Hold. Go 2. Just let him up, Lindsay.
Brandon Smith, tackled by
Lock
Cartwright.
out of there.
Once again, he dummies with the right and runs to the left side.
Still 3.
Collins through the hands, Radley, Keary, they had numbers. Johnston tried to cut that pass off from Tedesco, and he was successful in doing that, but the skipper's 6 metres out now. And Manu, who has gotten rid of the headgear, how did he get that pass away? Remarkable. Now Radley.
Last tackle, Lachlan.
5 and last. Do they roll it in here and try to keep the pressure on? Smith. 6 more on tackle 5.
And Jed Cartwright wasn't square at marker.
So smart by Smith. And now Baker. The Roosters might be about to crack them open again here. James Tedesco.
Good tackle. Great tackle, Alex Johnston.
Manu driven into the ground.
Square up there, Tom.
And Radley runs towards Murray and Cook.
Go 4.
9 short. Smith for Keary and Collins. Excellent tackle. Cartwright that time. They've done well here defending Souths, but the pressure's still on. Tedesco won't get there.
Yeah, great set of defence, South Sydney.
To play the ball here.
Now they've got to find the energy to attack from this end of the field. You see all Rabbitohs hands on hips.
No tackles.
They've got to find some sort of structure and attack with their class. You can throw a blanket over them at the moment.
Yeah, there's no one really keen for a run. They are gassed.
Not much petrol left.
And, of course, they're down to 15.
Go 2.
This would be enormously brave if they're to get out of this South Sydney. At the moment, you can't see it happening, can you? Cook. Damien Cook with a great individual dash.
Go 4, keep rolling.
That's something to work off.
Jeez, they got him here.
Oh, Ilias, the pass eventually found Walker on the bump. Mitchell kicks. He's got Johnston herring after it, but Tedesco gets over there. And he throws the pass. There's confidence.
what a
Jackson Paulo has it now.
What a play. Great effort by Jackson to get back there and give his skipper an option. And then for James Tedesco, under all his fatigue, to make that play. It's a big play.
Inside the last 10. Souths have had the wood on the Roosters recently, but they might be about to score another victory. Only 8 points the difference. Maria Hargreaves. Oh, there's a great effort.
Didn't the game change when Jared and Brandon Smith come on the field?
Absolutely. Keary for Tedesco now. Can he dazzle us with some dancing? Tedesco kicks ahead. It's a beautiful kick to the end goal. That is sublime.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's class, work ethic, and just a will to win from the captain, James Tedesco. Just watch him here. He's been in absolutely everything. He's got his team out of trouble. He saved tries, and he's looking to win the game for his side here tonight.
Might go to Freddie. Ask Brad Fittler about, after Origin games, the amount of work he gets through James Tedesco, his stats when he plays Origin.
It's like he plays a couple of positions. There'll be moments where he's sweeping around the back like he has tonight and laid on a try for Jackson Paulo. But you can't get him out of the middle. He just wants to. He goes to dummy half. He goes to first receiver. He gets on the inside of someone. His fitness level must be enormous, and his ability to get tackled and not get injured, incredible.
Well, they can issue the last rights with a try here, the Roosters. Swali'i back to the middle, big right foot step. Tackled by Murray and Kaloa Matangi. 5 metres out. Brandon Smith loops it for Tedesco. He's going to kick ahead again. And he got felled. Is it a penalty?
20.
Nope. He didn't get that one right. Oh, the challenge.
Roosters are challenging the decision of a 20-metre restart, claiming that James Tedesco has illegally taken it out.
Well, I think this challenge will help South Sydney. If they get the ball back, they'll get an opportunity to get some oxygen into the lungs.
Look, you can't make a decision in slow motion. They've got to show this in real time. Who makes the tackle? Jed Cartwright. He's committed.
Jed Cartwright is already in the tackling motion as the ball is kicked. He's committed. Playing through. The ball then rolls dead. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, at least the bunkers agree with him once tonight.
I'll get me close back on.
Front foot, Jared! Front foot. Come on, 0 coming. Victor, up square. Hold here now,
The big guns have got to stand up.
Hold, Egan. Go, 0, Egan. Let up now, Nat. Here, Egan. You got to get closer, mate, at marker. Go, 1.
There's Ilias.
Luke, up now. Hold here, Victor.
They've really commanded the game in the second half, the Roosters. Souths have barely seen the ball down the other end. Lovely shift here. Here's Tass. Johnston came back on the inside.
They're going to go straight back. Attack again.
Keep the ball flowing.
Jared, clear it. Keep working here, Lindsay. Hold with us here, Egan. Go for it.
Last tackle with Murray put down, 19 out.
Go last.
Cody Walker for Latrell Mitchell. It's been knocked on.
There's the Westpac red zone. See how many play the balls. Roosters, 23. What's happened here? There's a penalty.
Yeah, well, Paulo kicked ahead there after the knock on, and he was dragged off the ball. Gee, this has been quite a capitulation. Is that too strong a word? A capitulation from South? They look well in control. They're up 10-0, of course.
Well, they looked the better side in the first half, didn't they? And then Jared Warrior-Hargraves and Brandon Smith come on the field. They changed a bit of the momentum. And Brandon scored a try.
I think losing 2 of their middles, Saleh early and then Shaq Mitchell. But the game's been so fast.
Heads away now. Damien, stay with us.
They've had a lot of possession, 55% of possession, the Chooks. It's been a great game.
Well, the Roosters have got no interchanges left,
Let up now, Cameron.
so they'll finish the game with those players on the field.
Hey, dare I say it, we haven't had a sin bin yet.
Surrender. Up now. Go 3, Tom.
Oh, right, Hargreaves. Straight into Cheekham.
Clear it now, Katie. Lock in, Michael. Go 4. Last tackle. Marcus square.
Butcher will play it on 5.
Hold. Go, last.
Inside the last 5. Keary up across the field. He wants Swaliti to put a jump on it. He caught it, Swaliti, and he turns it around the corner somehow. Ball goes
Lindsay.
back to Collins. Kick it, Lindsay.
Play on there.
He got a repeat last week.
Oh, look at this. The crowd likes that one. Mitchell driven into the ground.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the big dog right there barking in his face.
Front row was kicking the ball. Nothing better.
It was a nice kick.
Go 2.
Really?
Have you seen front
That's
rows kick the
because
ball?
he's a
That was a nice
Queenslander,
kick.
see?
Jared square. Wait, Brendan. Hold. Go 3.
Last week, it was the first kick of his career. I think Trent Robertson was hoping it was going to be his last.
Nat, heads away. Here, Drew. Hold.
Oh, he's had a super second half, Lindsay Collins.
He's been sensational.
Still 4. Outside. Still 4.
Out to Elias, now Kaloa Matangi. And Campbell Graham finds a bit of room here. Good tackle, Keary. Collins over in cover as well.
Go last, Luke.
Now Damien Cook dashes. Sends it away to Tom Burgess.
Kick
we
it.
might have another front row kick it. Oh, he passed it. It's forward. You should have kicked it, Tom.
Oh, that's a head high.
I've got a
Joey
pass back
Manu.
here, but just have a look at Joey Manu's
And a high
contact here
tackle
after the whistle.
on Tass.
Leave it.
Whoa.
Leave it.
We haven't had a sin bin yet, I said. It might not be too late, and they have come running from miles away for the fracas.
The Roosters and the Rabbits.
We couldn't finish the game without some sort of drama. Someone landed one on Joey Manu.
It's a pretty careless action, G.
Whoa.
Cody out of there. Let's go, Jared.
History
Cody.
together, Cody Walker.
Cameron, get him
and Matt
away,
Butcher.
mate. Cameron, get him away so we can deal with it. Yeah, I think it's a pretty careless action. But just have a look what happens to Manu's eye after that too, because he's been opened up. Jared, let's go. Let's go, right apart, Jared. Get him away, James, get him away.
It's Cameron Murray, you know.
Yeah, talk to me, mate.
Normally see Cameron Murray
Take it
react
away,
like
mate.
that.
Right back. Yep.
Oh,
Cheekham.
is that?
I think Cheekham
Cameron,
was pushing.
just take your blokes
There's
right
no
back
way.
there. I'm dealing with that.
His hands
But I
went
need you to
near the
take your blokes
face of
back over
Joseph
there.
Manu. There was no way. It was intentional.
No, just let me deal with him first.
Freddie.
Well, Joey Manu normally looks like a mild-mannered sort of fellow, but you can see
Pin
I think
only.
he's going to get in trouble with the tackle.
Is he busted the
He's
cheekbone
got another.
again?
Big lump under the eye. Then he walks
Well,
over
look
the
at that.
top
We're
of
going to
Isaiah
do his
Tass.
action first.
There's obviously memories.
He's got punch in the face.
Yeah, it's a careless action that makes high contact. He's
Oh,
in the
he's
bin
gone.
on report.
So that'll mean if they
Okay,
kick the goal,
just gotta deal with
that'll
him
be
first.
2014
And just look to
with
see
3 minutes to go
And the player down.
if we've got a punch.
with 12 players.
Well,
Yep.
actually, hang on. Is he the only one going to the bin here?
Is that the side where he's had
Yep.
the padding on his face coming back from that cheekbone injury? Because that's...
Yeah, I'm going to... Yes, agree, mate. Okay. Michael comes in unnecessarily and flares things up. He's in the bin
He's
too.
gone in the bin too, Freddie. We went too early.
Penalty to you because of Joey's first.
Going to be a penalty to the Rabbitohs.
He doesn't need to do what he does.
It wasn't really cheeky.
Did he go for the goal?
It wasn't cheeky who came in. It was more Cam Murray.
Oh, it's a big kick. It's out wide and on Latrell's non-favoured side, but he's going out there to take the kick, I think.
On the line, boys.
I don't know what Cheekham's done there.
So Mitchell is hoping to kick this from a very tight angle, which would bring us back to 6 and give South Sydney a late hope. Yes, Freddie?
Looking at the clocks, and one clock was stopped and one kept going. I think from Latrell Mitchell's point of view, he wants it stopped. Once again, one still rolling over.
Well, he can't rush this. This is a hard kick. Well, he's rushing it.
The big moments.
He's tugged it across the face.
What do you think of the Joseph Manu? Do you think he might couple of weeks?
Yeah, it didn't look good. Didn't look good.
Penalty that went dead. It's a dropout. 20-metre dropout.
Tedesco, geez, got that sweetly. What a beautiful drop kick.
Now that swelling, that was the side of the face where, did he have a small fracture at training? That's why he missed a couple of...
Well, there was the issue with Latrell, of course.
That was last year.
Yeah.
And he's been wearing a headgear with padding on the inside.
But he had a collision at training. That's why he missed a couple of early rounds. So the way that ice swelling there.
Campbell Graham now. Oh, he slips a glorious pass to Thompson. It's a try.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, Latrell's got the kicking tee already.
You watch this.
Time off.
You can't get enough on him here. He'll nail this. Beautiful ball here, Campbell Graham. Harvey Norman replay. Look at that, the Gidley flick.
Stand by. It's not over yet.
Now, what are we waiting on here? Latrell's.
So because this is a try scored in the last 5 minutes, the clock is stopped. So
here he goes. This is on his natural side.
We saw that last kick. He gets a lot of draw on it. He'll start this ball around that far upright and draw that ball in. Oh, hang on.
So when he kicks this, it'll be time off until the Roosters resume. Can he nail it from touch?
Well, if he gets it, it brings in the 2-point field goal.
Yep.
Oh, you've got your money, Joey. He's kicked it straight over the black dot. 46 seconds to go.
Well, what that does is that brings in the 2-point field goal. So if they get in striking distance, anywhere in the opposition half, we know Latrell Mitchell can kick that 2-point field goal from outside the 40. It was a beautiful flick pass. Campbell Graham and Thompson did well to keep his legs in the air. We've got to finish.
On your run.
Have we what?
Kick.
Tedesco kicks off. 42 seconds left. Tom Burgess rumbles back.
Up square.
Can they get Latrell within striking distance?
Well, they've got to use the football. They've got to attack here.
25 seconds, probably a couple of plays. Tom Burgess, that wasn't part of the playbook. And it goes out now to Tass.
Open the field up. The halves, Latrell play together.
This is probably it. Out to Ilias and away to Latrell and now to Campbell Graham. Drew Hutchison with the tackle. Graham trying to play it, and he did. And the trail goes to dummy half. It was a game effort, but the ball is going to roll dead, and the Roosters are going to come away with victory over their next-door neighbours.
Incredible game. Both teams are out on their feet. They gave absolutely everything. Well done to the Roosters. They fought hard, hung in there through the tough times, and they got on top in the end. There's still plenty more in this Roosters team. They're playing nowhere near their best.
So the latest chapter in this incredible rivalry has lived up to the billing. The Roosters 20 have beaten the Rabbitohs 18 in Friday night footy.